friends. Hey, gang. Hey, people. It's me, Allie Makovsky. We're here. We did it. Another week. RIP to the fans who might have passed away this past week. Sorry you can't be with us this week, but for those of you who survived, who are still alive, welcome to another episode. Like I said, RIP. RIP to the other ones who are no longer with us. Thank you for listening the past, however many episodes you listened to. Sorry you can't be here for another one, but that's life, I guess. Speaking of death, there's a good... Oh, I'm drinking Liquid Death. Shout out to Liquid Death. Also, there's a good chance that I might not be alive next week. I'm going on an adventure. I'm going to Catalina Island, which might not sound dangerous. Catalina Island is a small island near Los Angeles, near Long Beach. You can take a little express boat over to the island. A lot of people go there on summer, school trips or something. Some people camp there. There's the back side of the island. A lot of people camp. Bikers bike around the mountain. I'm going to Avalon, which is the front side of the island, where I did see someone get stabbed once. I used to go there every 4th of July with my old step family. It's weird when you're talking about, step family, like my stepmom and stepsister, but they're not anymore. My dad isn't with my stepmom anymore, and I'm like, she's not my ex-stepmom, but I don't know how to say previous stepmom. But we would go there with her and her daughter, my stepsister. Go every 4th of July. We had a blast. There was a whole group of people who would go. And one 4th of July, I saw a man who was stabbed and playing it off very cool. I think he didn't want us to call the cops. I don't know if we followed his request or not. We were concerned. He was wearing a wife beater and definitely was stabbed. And I was a child. I didn't know how to react. But hopefully he's still alive. Maybe he's listening to the pod. You never know who a fan will be. You never know who's going to become a listener of the pod. But that's kind of Catalina, The Wrigley's, the guy who created Wrigley's gum, I believe he has a why do I do this? I was going to say giant and then large, and then I said George. There's a giant Wrigley's home there. I think there's a casino. There's some restaurants. There's not much. It's a small island. But, so I'm going to go there this weekend. This episode will come out on Wednesday, and I'm recording this on Friday. So if I die, this episode hopefully will get a lot of views. And I don't even know if it'll be a funny episode. So imagine my highest watched episode because I die isn't even funny. That would be more tragic, perhaps. But the reason I'm concerned about this trip is I'm not afraid to get stabbed. I think that guy might have been gang affiliated somehow. I don't think people just get stabbed randomly in Catalina. I feel like that was an intentional stabbing, but it was only one. So I feel like if it was gang affiliated, they would have finished the job. Maybe it was drug related. I don't know, but I'm scared because normally when I go to Catalina, I go on the Catalina Express. It takes off from the port of Long Beach or San Pedro. However, I'm not doing that this time. I am going on my cousin's boat. He has a modest boat. It's not like a yacht or anything. But I'm going on his boat. He's an experienced boater. He, boats from San Pedro to San Diego, and he's gone to Catalina a bunch on the boat. The reason I'm concerned is because we're going at nighttime, which apparently is normal, but also how normal is it? Nighttime boating seems scary. And I've been watching a lot of TikTok, and I've seen some boat incidents on TikTok. So if I make it through the night on the boat, it's only about an hour and a half boat ride. Hopefully I get there. Is it worth it? I don't know. Should I just go to Catalina in the morning and take the express? That's the safe option. But if you know anything about me, I don't always do the safe option. I like to learn from my mistakes. I might learn from dying on this boat in my next life. And that's all I can really hope for at this point. Wow, my guy's already done. Great. So there's a guy at the podcast studio. Let me let him know I'll be down in about 45. Can't wait to see you. So there's this guy at the podcast studio. His name's Jonas. And God bless this man. I was leaving the podcast studio last time I was here. There's this guy in the lot who's the valet. But before his valet shift starts, he'll clean cars in the lot, in the parking lot. And he has like a whole setup out of his van. He has, all the sprays and the washes and the bottles and all of that. And so I asked him, I was like, how much, do you charge? And he only charges about $30, I think, which to me feels very fair. And I will definitely tip him because it is 80 degrees outside right now. It's so hot. And he works hard. He's a good guy. But also the reason why I don't mind paying $30 for a car wash is because normally car washes are like $20 for the basic car wash. And you're just, your car's just going through that little, tube machine. And it's just kind of, it has those things just smacking your car. It's like BDSM for your Kia. It's just getting smacked by soaps and weird materials. And this guy, it's more hands-on. He's really with your car. He's touching it with his hands. Feels more personal. And also when you go to the car wash, it goes through that washer thing really quickly. But then because there's so many cars at the car wash, they do a good enough job, but they just have to do it quickly so they can get to the next car. And so, your car looks good on the outside, and then you go inside, it looks good. And then when you're driving away, you look in the cup holder and you're like, why is there still cheese fungus in there? I don't remember even getting that in there. And it still is in there. So I'm excited to see how Jonas does. I'm sure he did a great job. He seems like a good guy. He's a good texter, when I was setting up the appointment. And he's already done. He did it for 1.5 hours. $30. Was it 30 or am I getting that wrong? Did he say 40? It was $30. I got it. Do you guys tip? Let me know in the comments below. Leave a little comment. Do you guys tip when you go to the car wash? If so, how much? Because I posted that on my Instagram story and people had a lot of opinions. People said they don't tip because, that is just that's just their money or something. Or like they only tip like $5. Some people tip a lot. I'm curious what the standard is. Because, when you go to a restaurant, you tip at least, hopefully 18% at least. That's standard. Everyone knows when you go out to eat, you leave a tip. You know what I don't like? When people don't tip at coffee shops. I just saw that. One of my friends, I went to get coffee with him. Yeah. He didn't leave a tip. I didn't like that. It rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, it's very telling. And then it's also the same when, quick serve places, like places where you just order at the counter. You take a number, you sit down, they give your food to you, not like a sit down restaurant, just like a quick food spot. I don't like when people don't tip there. It's like we're working just as hard. Just because we're not going back and forth to your table, we're still putting in your order. We're making sure everything's right. We're packaging your order. We're bringing it to you. And also, it's not that, that tip goes to just the person type. Because here's the thing. I think people who don't work in food service think, oh, well, why am I going to tip someone just for pressing buttons to put in my order? It's like, no, that tip's not just going to us. It's going to the kitchen. It's going to everyone. It gets split amongst everyone if you're working at a good restaurant. And if people don't tip a lot, then you're making minimum wage, which is nothing, and then you're walking away with $2. That's degrading. I'd rather get 0 tips than $2. That just feels. It's why did I wait after work to collect my tips for $2 and a nickel? So yeah, I think tipping is essential. I try and tip for most things. There's a couple things that I don't necessarily feel the need to tip for. Like, I used to not tip for massages. Because, here's the thing though. Because I was getting massages a while ago on my parents' health insurance. So it wasn't like I was just going somewhere, like to a massage place and getting a massage. It was like I was going to like the chiropractor's office that offered massages. So I'm like, they're getting paid whether they have no clients that day or they do. You know, they're getting paid at they're on the office's dime or whatever. You know, they work for a company. So that's something that I didn't used to tip for. But then as I got older, I was like, well, if I tip for getting my nails done, why wouldn't I tip for getting a massage? But with massages, I'm also curious. Break down all the tips in the comments. I am very curious, and I do read the comments on the videos. How much do you think is a fair enough tip for a massage? Because it's like, the massage, say it's $65 for an hour massage, and it's a good massage. How would you just do 20% automatically? What's 20% of $65? That's what, about $12, $15, something like that? 12 to 15? Yeah. You know how I do math? Like for tipping? Because I'm not good with math and numbers and stuff. If it's $60, I just multiply the first number. 6 times 2, 12. And then I say, then I base it off of 12 and normally just go up from that. Like, me and my boyfriend just got a massage, a little couples massage, which the first time we got a couples massage, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, is he going to get a hand job right in front of me? But then the second time we got a couples massage, I was like, I don't think I'd mind if you got a little hand job. But that's the thing. This is where it gets kind of fucked up. If she was an ugly lady giving you a happy ending, I'd be fine with that. If she looks smoking hot, I'd be a little bit pissed. Yeah. Yeah, my boyfriend said after the massage that he got a happy ending. I don't believe it. I was in the room. It was dead. Who gets a happy ending like this? You have to at least be like you have to like quietly. I would hear that. We were right next to each other. And they gave a great massage. We ended up tipping, $20 each? Yeah. They got in there. This girl was on top of me. She was like doing handstands on my back. She was twisting my legs around in positions I didn't even know they could go. I'm pretty sure she saw my vagina at least 5 times because the blanket moves around and she was moving me all around. I got stretched, which normally I don't like, and I kind of told her at the beginning. I was like, I just want a relaxing massage. No acrobatics, please. But she did it, and I was like, I see why you just did it. I see why you broke the consent. It was worth it. It was so nice. What else did she do that got me going? Conversation. No, I was nervous because at the beginning of the massage, she was chatting. And that's something that I also don't like. If I'm getting a massage, I'm going there to relax. And this was interesting, something that me and boyfriend had different opinions on. I like to relax when I'm at a massage. If I fall asleep during the massage, that means the massage was perfect. I was so at ease, so relaxed that I was able to fall asleep and still get my back worked on without even knowing it. And my boyfriend said that he would not want to fall asleep during a massage because then that's like a waste of money, which I find to be ridiculous. Because your back is still getting worked on. The massage isn't about being awake and feeling it. The massage is about being relaxed, working through those knots. I'd much rather be asleep. I love when I'm drooling. But I had to wear... The only time I didn't like drooling during a massage is when they made me wear the face mask when my face was down in the hole. I don't mind wearing the mask when I flip over and... I'm looking at God. And, but when my face was down, it was such a good massage, but I was drooling, which I love because it was so good, but it all collected in the mask. And that's when I realized masks were so powerful because none of the drool got out. It was a full pool of drool in my mask. And then I took it off. I was like, can I get another mask? It was soaking wet. Ugh. But yeah, so now I give tips for massages. I give tips for most things. I think that's the polite thing to do. And if you give a small tip, the only time I think giving a small tip is fine is if you don't have a lot of money. I don't have that much money, but I have enough money to leave a good tip and feel happy about it. It's more about me. I mean, everything I do is about me. I leave a tip because it makes me feel good. I don't care what they use that tip on. It's like the same thing with, homeless people. We call them houseless now. I mean, literally, what is the difference between saying someone's homeless and houseless? Because the home is where your heart is? Literally, how is houseless more woke? They're the exact same thing. I just thought about that. I don't mind calling it whatever is the approach, but I don't think there's people who are on the street without a job, without a home, being like, don't say homeless. I'm houseless. It's like, bitch, I'm houseless. I have an apartment. Can I... I'm going right wing on this episode. I'm not, but sometimes I feel like because I say certain things that aren't the most woke, that I'm like, I feel like all of a sudden I'm becoming right wing by not saying houseless. That's why I think people don't like society. I feel like even most liberal people are fed up with it because everyone feels like they can't say the wrong. Well, now this is coming off bad. But I feel like it's such a fine line to cross where it's like, here's what I'm trying to say. I feel like me saying, I don't care that much. I'll call houseless people houseless. I don't care. Whatever. But if I say, why is that? And if someone wants to explain it to me, I'm 100% open to listening. I think that's the difference. I think people, no matter what side you're on, liberal, conservative, whatever the fuck, if your mind is closed and you don't want to hear people's opinions and why someone else thinks differently, you're the bad person. Because I think, yes, God, nothing I say ever makes sense. But I think that's why people feel uncomfortable nowadays by, saying certain things, like me saying homeless or houseless. What's the difference? Because if you're one of those super hardcore, woke people, you're like, you should know. Whatever. Not everyone, but, there's the extremes. There's always the extremes. But I truly don't think that houseless people are really worried about... I guess homeless just has a bad connotation and people disregard homeless people as actual people. So I think the new branding of houseless makes it more maybe human, but it's anyway, the reason I give to houseless people is because it makes me feel good. Right? You're not allowed to be oh, it makes me feel good. You have to be I just really want to give back. And it's yeah, I want to give back because it makes me feel good. I don't care what they spend it on. They can spend it on drugs. That makes them feel good. I don't get to control what they spend the money on. That's why people are oh, I don't give, homeless people money because they're going to use it on drugs. It's yeah, what do you want them to open up a bank account with the $2 you just gave them? You want them to start saving? You want them to work their way up to getting a house? It's not going to happen, buddy. Oh, I'm on one today. Whoo. But yeah. Yep. Why did I bring... Oh, tipping. Tipping, spending money. Always tip your baristas. Yeah, I try and always tip. Celebrities, that's what sucks about being... if you're a celebrity, if you're a famous person, you have to leave an insane tip. You have to. Because everyone at work is going to talk about it. Oh, Jennifer Lopez was at work. Could you... it's normal to leave a 20% tip. Imagine Jennifer Lopez going to Applebee's and leaving a 20% tip. You'd be like, what the fuck, bitch? You're Jenny from the block. She has to tip 100%. 50% at least. You don't get to just be Jennifer Lopez and tip the regular amount. I guess it makes sense. She has so much money. It's why wouldn't you just tip more? But it's if she... Well, I guess she's also not going to be receiving the same service at Applebee's as I would. So they're putting more work into making her happier. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, why did I bring up tipping? I was talking about getting a massage. I was talking about...
You were saying how you used to not tip.
I used to not tip for massages. But why did I even bring that up? I don't know. Korean, I don't know. If you guys have listened to Oppa Gangnam Style recently by incredible Korean artist, singer, musician Psy, Psy. I love that song. If I'm ever feeling sad, put on Oppa Gangnam Style and man, your day will drastically improve. But I realized singing that song, because I did try and learn all of the words when the song came out to impress people. No one's ever been impressed by someone trying to sing a Korean song. Now that BTS is so popular, thanks to Psy for paving the way. I'm sure it is more. But, like, even I feel like the girls who are, like, big fans of BTS, like, if they were at school and they started singing Korean songs, like, in Korean, I don't think anyone would be like, nice, you should come to my birthday party. I imagine that life is kind of hard. Not saying that they deserve that, but from my experience in high school, I wouldn't consider that kind of person and necessarily be the most popular. Good for you if you are. But, yeah, I thought that was going to be really cool, like, because that song played so much. I mean, it broke the record when it came out for being, like, the most plays on YouTube. And so, you know, I watched it so often that I didn't know what I was saying, but I knew kind of the way I was supposed to say some things. So, you know, I got back into my Psy phase again, listening to Oppa Gangnam Style a lot. And I realized that when I'm singing that song, it sounds like I'm doing a Christopher Walken impression. I don't know. Korean, I don't know. I mean, now I'm not doing it good, and I get really uncomfortable when I try and do impressions in front of people. But if you just listen to the song and you try and sing it yourself, you'll kind of get... I also realized E40. When I try and sound like E40, I sound like Christopher Walken. Oh, tell me where to go. Tell me where to go. Did you guys see what I mean? You didn't need to laugh. That was really embarrassing, but... Remember being a kid and just beating yourself up when you were angry about something? So stupid. Do you guys ever hit your head into a wall a couple times? God, everyone hates me. Anyone else? Yep. What else? We didn't tip when we went horseback riding. That's a service. Yeah, we didn't tip. We should have tipped. Yeah. We took a shuttle when we were in Aspen for my sister's wedding. We took shuttles every day from the hotel. Like, the hotel provides shuttles. We didn't tip for that either. And we were taking shuttles on the reg. We did not tip once. They did expect us to, yeah. Yeah, you know, we got some learning to do. We got some growing. It's also, like, hard, though, now, because there's certain things that... Like the horseback riding, we would have had to tip in cash. The shuttle, we would have had to tip in cash. We did have time, to be fair, though, to pull cash.
100%.
But we did not. Yeah, I'm a terrible person. I am a bad person. It is so messed up about, you know, the houselessness in Los Angeles, in Texas, in New York, everywhere. It's big in Arizona. It's like, what are we supposed to do? You know, like, what's the solution to that? Because it seems like no one wants to find one. And that is the messed up thing about, you know, homeless people, is everyone's just like, oh, they're junkies. They're, you know, they're doomed. But I don't know. Korean, I don't know. Baby, not no more. I don't know. 아름다워 사랑스러워 그런다 hey 그러바른다. Do you remember the Harlem Shake? That was also so popular. Man, what a time for just hit songs on YouTube from random people. The Harlem Shake. Every school, if you're like 27 or younger, every school did like a video We used to have jerk competitions, like school jerk squads, which sounds inappropriate if you don't know what I'm talking about, but you know the song, it's like, you're a jerk, I know, you're a jerk, I know. And you would do that like backwards, like Running Man type of thing. We had like school rivalries with other jerkers from other schools. Can't wait to tell my kids about that, my grandkids. Back in my day, we would do jerk competitions on other schools' campuses. We'd steal their mascots and jerk. This sounds so inappropriate. Why'd they call it the jerk? It's so naughty. Now there's the smeeze. Do you know the smeeze? I gotta work on it. I could probably do it. There's also the 3-step on TikTok that's blowing up right now. That one's really cool. Is that what it's called, the 3-step? Man, I have so much confidence that when I watch those videos, I go, I can do that. With the 3-step, I kind of did. I had only watched the videos, and then I told you, I was like, I can do that. And then I stood up, and I kind of did it. It wasn't terrible.
You did it.
I did it. Guys, quick shout out. Just want to do a little shout out to my sponsor today, Parade. You guys know I love Parade underwear, one of my favorite undies. Honestly, my only favorite undies. I still have a couple hanger-oners. I have a couple of my like stale middle school underwear that say the day on them. Wednesday's underwear. But the Wednesday's all faded out because I've flicked my bean in them so many times that it's just raw. The END is just completely blank. It says Wednesday. Anyway, Parade just sent me even more underwear. I didn't ask them to. They sent me more. And I already used my promo. Maybe they saw that I used my own promo code to buy more underwear for myself, and they were rewarding me for spending my own money. But they sent me more. And let me tell you, I'm so glad because I packed underwear for my trip, and I was wearing one of my old, not to mention any other underwear brands, but I was wearing my old MeUndies undies because I ran out of my Parade ones on the road. Didn't do enough laundry. And I was wearing the old MeUndies that are ripping apart at the seams. They're busted up. After like 2 weeks of wearing them, I swear to God. I don't want to talk shit about other underwear brands, but Parade changed my life. So I'm wearing my old raggedy underwear thong. And when I took them off, I slept in them. I don't know if you guys, maybe I'm being disgusting. Oh, this is something else I want to talk about. Let me just get through this ad really quick. Jesus Christ. It paper cutted my butthole crease at the top. Like the top part of where the crack is. My underwears were so high up or something. Maybe I was just giving myself wedgies all night, but it almost feels like a paper cut scab. Like it's all, like the skin up there is irritated. Parade's not going to do that to your butthole. Take care of your butthole. Use the Parade underwear. I made my boyfriend get into a pair that I thought were cute because they have those like nice little cheeky ones with the mesh on the sides. Cute design. So I made my boyfriend put it on. Honestly, it looked good on him. I could see all his junk. I didn't have a problem with it. His butt looked great in him. He has a photo of it on his phone because I took photos of his butt in the Parade underwear. And he was showing his brother photos from something. And he accidentally scrolled past him wearing my underwear. And his brother really was concerned for a moment. But you can't deny his butt looks good in those underwear. Anyway, if you want to treat your butthole in whatever other body parts you have down there, if you want to be looking good, feeling good, most importantly, go to yourparade.com/AllieMac. YOUR parade.com/ALIMAC, and they will give you 20% off a purchase of $40 or more. And if you don't spend more than $40, you'll get free shipping, I'm pretty sure. Because I just looked at their website, and I was looking at only one item, and it said free shipping. So, whatever, use my code. Look at all their underwear. They just sent me this cute little like bralette thing. I wore it as a sports bra today when I went to the gym because I'm working on my fitness. And it was like a one shoulder thing and it looked so cute. And I go to a gym in West Hollywood where everyone there is hot, and I took my shirt off, showed them the sports bra. I was the hottest one in there at that moment. So go to yourparade.com/AllieMac. to apply their exclusive discount to my listeners. 20% off orders of $40 or more. Yeah, I love it. What was I saying before? Oh, wait, why was I talking about? I was going off on a tangent and I said, let me just finish this.
So you're being disgusting.
Oh, I was being disgusting. Oh, yeah. So I think maybe part of the reason why my underwear chafed my butthole was because if I wear my underwear during the day and I'm not making too many messes down there, it's a dry day down there, then I'll wear my underwear at night to bed and then I'll change them in the morning. Is that gross? Is that disgusting? And the reason I bring this up is because I think some people would say that they showered every night. And so they, if I was showering at night after a day, I would obviously take off my underwear, get a new pair, go to bed in the new pair, or I just wouldn't wear undies at all. I just go to bed with a clean cooch. But everyone was freaking out this week because Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher allegedly said that they don't shower every day, and everyone's losing their goddamn mind. They're like, what monsters don't shower every day? And it's like, what are you doing every day that you need to fucking wash your entire body off for? Are you committing murders every day? You need to get crime scene evidence off of your body? Why do you need to shower every day? I find that to be disgusting and repulsive. I think it's extremely unnecessary, and I don't think it's a big deal. And then people were like really trying to investigate this, like not understanding how Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher couldn't possibly shower every day. They're like, oh, they're probably lying and just saying it because they want to appear as though they're not using a lot of water because of climate change. I'm like, no, maybe they just don't need a freaking shower every day. They're not working in the fields. They're not sweating at a chicken wings job, They're taking business calls. They're raising their kids. They're living the good life. They don't need to shower every day. I, controversial opinion, find it to be extremely unhealthy and disgusting to shower every day because guess what? Your body's producing these natural oils, these natural things, and you're going to tell God he doesn't know what to do and that you trust Irish Spring more than Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior? You have more faith in Irish Spring than God himself, herself, themself? You don't need to shower every day. Like today, I showered last night because I was in Boston and I showered once when I was out there. I was there for 3 days, 4 days. Showered once. I showered right before I went. I showered during the trip. And then I showered when I got home. So I showered last night. Or was it 2 nights ago? Last night? I showered last night. And so I'm good, I'm thinking I'm good. But then I went to work out today because I'm trying to be all toned and healthy. And I've been eating good too. I've been trying not to eat as much sugar. I'm not following any sort of plan, but I have a general idea of what's good for me. I'm trying to cut back. You know what happened? I went out to eat with my boyfriend and his mom and his brother. We went to a pizza place. I literally ate everyone's food. Everyone had 2 slices, maybe 3. What did I eat? 5 slices of pizza? And then I had a side of meatballs. I was scooping all the crust in the sauce from the meatballs. Ate a salad too. And I was embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really embarrassed about food stuff. I like eating. That's my thing. Love to eat. But that was when I was like, you know what? I didn't need all of that. I was so full after. But I'm addicted. So I'm trying to eat smaller portion sizes. And I'm eating healthy stuff. Not that this is the most healthy, but it's better than me eating pizza at a restaurant. I got tuna. I made myself a little tuna salad. Put it on a little whole wheat, whole grain, English muffin. Because I'm still going to eat bread. I'm not going to fucking suffer and starve myself. But I made the tuna myself, which I feel is pretty good. There's protein, whatever. Then I had it on the bread, put a little cheese, made a little tuna melt. And it was so yummy. Put some avocado on there. So good. And then I made myself a little quinoa salad. Cooked up some quinoa. Never done that before. Cooked up some quinoa, put some avocados in there, chopped up some veggies, put a little homemade salad dressing. Yeah, that's right. 0 sugar, homemade salad dressing. I've been eating that for like a week. I don't know if I'm skinnier yet, but I went to my workout this morning and I sweat my whole asshole off. I was dripping. I was dying. So when I got home, obviously I rinsed off my body. I rubbed under my armpits. Did I use soap? I don't think so. I didn't need to. I just showered last night with soap. I did a good shower with soap. So all I need to do is just rinse off the sweat. Whatever, you might say I'm disgusting. You might say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. And that was from John Lennon, who got shot. So anyway, whatever. If you think I'm disgusting, you can go beep yourself. I'm clean enough for me. I'm clean enough. I feel good about my cleanliness. I brush my teeth every day. At least once. Maybe not at night. Sometimes I get tired. But I have great teeth. They're white. They're big. They're beautiful. BBWs. Big, beautiful, white teeth. Right? Babe? But yeah, I just thought it was so funny that everyone was freaking out that they don't shower every day. It's like, what do you think that they're doing? Fucking working on a farm? Bathing pigs? Like, they don't need to shower every day. If you're going on runs every day, yeah, I get it. You gotta rinse off. But this is a fact. 100% no cap. Someone got mad at me in the DMs for saying cap. It was whatever. Yeah. But this is 100% the truth. Stop washing your hair every day. It's bad. See, and that's the thing. Hairstylists will tell you that. They say, don't wash your hair every day because your hair needs to produce its natural oils. When you wash it every day, you're stripping them of that. So when you stop washing your hair is going to be a lot greasier because it's overproducing oil that you're stripping from it. So let it be oily, let it go through an oily phase, but then wash it like once or twice a week. Put in some baby powder if it's getting a little greasy and oily. You don't need to wash it that much. It's bad. But then, if that's true, if that's a fact and hairstylists are saying that, you can get your hair wet, but you don't need to shampoo and condition it. Then why isn't that the same for our bodies? I have hair all over my body. Yes, I am right. Ugh. Feels good to be right, you know? Feels good to just say it and own it and live my truth, follow my journey. I was in Boston and I did some shows. I was annoyed. Anyone who is coming out to see me in Washington, D.C., I am so sorry because this shit is getting annoying. So I got booked to do the Comedy Loft in Washington, D.C., and I'm very excited to go there. But obviously it got postponed initially due to COVID, and then it got postponed another time because they needed to, like, redo something with their ventilation system to make it more safe due to COVID. And apparently there was some sort of miscommunication. I don't know whose end it was on, but the miscommunication, they didn't confirm the new date that I was promoting, which was supposed to be right after Boston. That's why I was going to Boston. I booked Boston on my own. I was doing some bar shows. I love the bar, the White Bull Tavern. It's very fun. They do really good comedy shows there. So if you're in Boston, go see a show at the White Bull Tavern. But that's Boston's so far. It's like a 5.5, 6 hour plane ride. So I was like, oh, this way, like, I'll book my own show in Boston. I'll get to, like, work on my set at the bar shows and then go to Washington, D.C. from there and make the most of my time out on that side of the country. And it got frickin', like, now I have another new date. So if you're going to the Washington show, I can't wait to see you. There's so much anticipation, so much sexual energy and tension going into it. But I'm looking forward to Washington, D.C. Bummed I didn't get to go on this trip, but Boston was so fun. And it was crazy because I was there right before COVID happened, right before, like, the lockdowns or anything, when people were still, like, not quite sure what was going to happen or what it was. And I was there, and I had such a good time. Bernie Sanders did a rally at the park, so I randomly saw Burn Dog in Boston. That was wild. Right before COVID, saw Bernie. He was doing a little rally thing. But Boston's great. The people at the shows were incredible. The Pierce family came out. Shout out to the Pierce family. 3 sisters, their mom, so cute. They reminded me so much of me and my sisters. They're all like, the mom really took her time popping them out. She like let her coochie recoup and then get back to work. Because they were at least I think 10 years apart each. That's got to be the right way to do it. That feels nice. I don't know. Then you have the oldest one to watch the other one. It kind of is like a MLM type of business, like a pyramid scheme. You just hire one child and then all of a sudden you got 2 more taken care of. You don't even need to be there. And the mom was so cool, and they freaking drove to see me do a bar show in Boston. 4.5 hours. They all came to see me, and they were so nice. I love them to pieces. And everyone who came to the shows was so freaking cool. It's so crazy that people come to see me perform. I understand, but I also am just... It's just nice, I'm a dumb little bitch, and you guys, I guess, are too. And I love that about you and me and us. But the Boston shows were good. I had a wild time. I was being a goofy little girl, saying crazy shit on stage. Did karaoke after the last show. Oh, I killed it. There's going to be a video of it coming out. There's this guy, Dustin Sussman. He does these videos on YouTube. He makes documentaries, all this stuff. And he makes this thing, you can look it up. It's called Comic Routines. He did one with William Montgomery that's so funny. So check it out. It's very funny. But he did one for me while I was in Boston. So we did a little interview, followed me around, went to my shows. So I might be putting out some stand-up clips from those shows. We'll see. Stay tuned. I always say I'm going to do something, and then it doesn't really happen. But this one will. Probably. I'll at least have one clip from this. One stand-up clip. I don't know how much of it I want to use because some of the material I want to keep with me and hold on to for now. Some of it I'm happy to just put out online and say, do what you want with this. But, yeah, it was a great time. What else happened when I was there? Oh, I'll close out with this. So before I went to Boston, you might have seen this on my Instagram story, but, hold on, my throat is so parched. I'm not used to talking this much. When I talk to people regularly, I'm more of just a listener. If I'm feeling silly and I'm in a good mood, I'll be chatting it up, but then I pause, listen to them. This much talking, really, my throat is just dry as hell. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. Okay, so before I go to Boston, this is what I do. When I go to the airport, when I'm leaving Los Angeles, I'll drive to this neighborhood near LAX. It's by LMU, which is a college. And it's about 10, 12 minutes away from the airport. And so to avoid paying $100 to take a lift to the airport and maybe have to smell someone's BO or talk to someone at 6 a.m, I can just drive myself to almost the airport, get a taxi or a lift from where I parked. It's a residential neighborhood. It's quiet. The streets are very empty. Everyone has their own driveway. So it's not one of those things where I'm taking someone's spot. It's just a pretty quiet neighborhood. I park there. I get a lift, and then I go to the airport for about $12, maybe $30 at most if it's busy. And then I fly and I come home. I get a taxi from the airport. And then I get to my car and I get to drive myself home. I don't have to talk to someone after a long trip. I just get to get on the road and go home and sleep. And so I park in the same area, the same street where I normally park. And I get out of the car with my suitcase, and this woman's taking photos of me and my car and my bags, all of that, from her house. She's like kind of across the street and like a couple houses down. And I'm like looking at her thinking she's going to say something to me. Because obviously I know she's taking photos because she doesn't want me parking on her street. But there's no street signs on her street. There's nowhere that says I can't park there. There's no Tuesday street sweeping, yada yada. So obviously if she's taking photos, she has a problem with it. So I'm looking at her, expecting her to like say something to me. And I'm like, do you have a problem? She must not have heard me, or she didn't want any smoke. But it's like, if you're going to step outside of your house, stay on your lawn and take photos of me, like you can either, you can handle this two ways. You can either go inside of your home where I don't see you and take photos of me behind my back, and you can keep that to yourself. Or you can just say, hey, can you move your car? I'm going to take photos of it so that way I can tell, whoever I'm going to tell about your car being parked here. But she doesn't say a word. She's just standing on her lawn taking photos of my car. So my Lyft gets there. I go up to the Lyft driver. The lady starts taking videos of me. And I can tell because before she was just taking a photo. This time she's, doing all angles. And so I'm like looking at her. She still doesn't say anything to me. So I tell the Lyft driver, I'm like, hey, do you mind just pulling around the corner? I'm going to move my car because I think this lady has a problem with me parking here. She's like, yeah, that lady sounds psycho, but sure, I'll do that. So as I'm walking away from her car, I try and get a little bit closer to the lady. And I'm like, hey, do you have, what's going on? Do you have a problem? Is everything good? What's happening? And she's like, you can't park there. I'm going to report your car. You have 72 hours to move your car. After 72 hours, you're going to get it towed. I'm going to get it impounded or whatever. So I'm like, this lady is actually insane. That's not real. She just made that up. So then I move my car. I'm like, okay, I'm going to move my car. Thank you. Thanks. Have a great day. I'm going to move my car. Thank you. Thank you for your service. I really appreciate that. So I move my car and I'm looking at the parking laws in California, and she was correct. She was 100% correct. If you're parked somewhere without moving your car, after 72 hours, it could be considered abandoned or unlawful. So she was 100% right. She could report my car, whatever. But the problem is, why not just say that to me when you see my car parked? Because obviously if you're filming, I'm not just going to be, posing for your photos. What did she want to happen? Oh, it made me so angry. It made me so angry. And, I get, I never try and just, be mean to someone or, I always try and, consider something from someone else's perspective. I was trying to think, I'm like, would I be annoyed if I lived there and someone random parked on my street? And it's a part of me would be yeah, I'd be kind of annoyed because it's not their street and just park, figure something else out. But at the same time, it's also I'm not going to go out of my way to report them unless I see their car always pulling up there for long trips. I'm normally gone 2 nights, 3 nights at most. And this street also isn't a busy street. It's not like people are struggling to find parking in this area. There's ample spots available on the street. Everyone also has their own driveway. So part of me is yeah, I get where she's coming from, but also it's just be you're a grown ass adult woman and you're going to take photos of me without saying a word. I don't know. Korean, I don't know. Baby, not no more. I don't know. Because I'm thinking if I actually got upset to that point, would I tell someone? Would I go up to someone I don't know and say, hey, move your car? Or would I also be passive aggressive about it? I honestly feel I'd also be somewhat of a Karen about it. But I'd like to think that I'd have balls and just say, hey, get off my fucking street. But I posted on my Instagram story. A lot of people sounded off. They put their opinions on there. And now I know that there's parking lots that you can park in outside of LAX and get a shuttle straight to LAX from, and it's cheaper. It's like $12 or $16 a night. So I might just have to do that. It might be better. And yeah, when I did pick up my car, when I got back home, I did slowly drive by her house and sit in front of it for a second, hoping that she'd come out and I'd be able to ask her why she's so bored. But she didn't. She didn't come out. Anyway, that's enough from me. Go to AllieMakovsky.com/shows. Go to yourparade.com/AllieMac for the hookup on all your underwear and bralette needs. Go to my Patreon. If you want to do a monthly Zoom, you can join the top tier Patreon, patreon.com, and then search Allie Makovsky. What else? I still have a couple t-shirts left on my website. So if you still want to get an Allie Mac is Alive in Hollywood t-shirt, go to my website, AllieMakovsky.com. And besides that, hope I don't get killed this weekend. Hope I'll see you next week, and I hope you guys stay safe, have fun, take care of yourself. I love you. Goodbye.